What's up, everybody? Professional wrestler Chris Wilde back with another video on Eagles News Now from bar 4133. And welcome to Silver Linings Playbook as we try to find this silver lining to and positivity to some of these losses that we're having. If we don't find some positivity, we're going to drive ourselves crazy. So I searched, and it didn't take me long to find a huge silver lining to yesterday's game. And not just myself, but the entire world found the Eagles' silver lining. And it comes in the form of number 13. No, not Nelson Aguilar. Travis Fulgham, wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. He had 10 catches for 152 yards and a touchdown yesterday. Looked like an absolute stud at wide receiver. A guy that looked like he was picked in the first or second round. Well, man, has this guy had a journey, not just to get to the NFL, but to get to the Philadelphia Eagles. You just look at his 2020 alone. Back in August, on August 9th, he was waived by the Lions, who he was picked last year, 2019, in the 6th round of the NFL draft. Not the first round, not the second round, not even the third round, the 6th round, out of Old Dominion. 8-9, waived by the Lions. The 10th, he's claimed by the Packers, only to be waived by them on the 19th. And then on the 20th, claimed by the Eagles. Now, months later, October 4th, catches the game-winning touchdown on Sunday Night Football against the 49ers. And then, of course, just yesterday, October 11th, has those 10 catches for the 152 yards and the touchdown in a losing effort against the Steelers. He was the highest-graded wide receiver in Week 5 of the NFL at 93.0. And we still have a Monday night game to go. But, man, great numbers, great accomplishment from a guy that literally just came out of nowhere for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I did watch and research a little bit of his college stuff. I'm talking highlights here. Coming out of Old Dominion, you're not going to find a lot from there. Game versus Virginia Tech, he did have 188 yards on 9 catches and a touchdown. This guy just looks the part. What I love about him is that X factor, the confidence, the attitude that he seems to have. He has the attitude of a number one wide receiver. I noticed it a little bit last week. Even though it was only 2 catches, he did have that game winner. And what that's going to do, when you catch a ball like that with Carson Wentz is now going to have confidence in you to throw you the ball a lot, as he did yesterday. This guy, Fulgham, is catching the ball, snagging him out of the air. He's got defenders bouncing off him because he is a big dude. He just absolutely shocked the entire NFL yesterday. Doing what he did is something special, because it wasn't against backups like the week before in San Francisco. He played against one of the best, if not the best, defense in the entire NFL. And quite frankly, he made it look easy. And a lot of that goes to Carson, too. Fulgham wasn't open all the time. A lot of the time, Carson is throwing the ball into tight coverage. And after a couple of these catches, the Steelers knew that this was the guy, and he was still making the catches. Absolutely 100% happy about having a guy like Travis Fulgham on the team. It's crazy because we have guys that our GM has drafted, like number 19, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside yesterday, that didn't do much of anything, but you have a guy that you claim that was cut from a couple teams come in here and really show off. I'm definitely excited about that. Unbelievable silver lining for the Eagles. If you're to pick one, that's it. It's Travis Fulgham, because there's 2 things that the Eagles really need badly. They need help on the offensive line, and they need help at wide receiver. And while we're talking about the offensive line, while that's being brought up, another silver lining in this game, if you're to pick one, left tackle Jordan Mailata. Look, I'm not gonna rethread what I said last week, because I talked about this last week. But, man, he really built off a great performance against the 49ers with an excellent performance against the Steelers. You're talking about a defensive line. We talked about it all week last week that has T.J. Watt and Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree was Mailata's responsibility for most of the game, and he only had half a sack. Mailata looked awesome out there for most of the game. Again, slipped up a couple times. But this is a guy that was a rugby player a couple years ago. And Jeff Stoutland deserves the credit for obviously bringing this guy along. But, man, I'm really excited to see a guy like Jordan Mailata not being pushed around like Jason Peters was a couple weeks ago. It's refreshing. The Eagles have had trouble drafting these guys. They get a guy like Mailata to come in here who was drafted really, really late. Who would have thought that he would end up being the starter over your first-round pick from last year, Andre Dillard? But again, a silver lining in yesterday's game is that he held up pretty goddamn well. And we'll see. He's got another test against the Ravens, as Fulgham does this Sunday. But I'm absolutely loving what I saw. Great silver lining. Now, it's not a moral victory, but it's a silver lining for this team that definitely needs some positivity. And this fan base needs some positivity as well. That's all I got for you guys. Silver Linings Playbook, Travis Fulgham, Jordan Mailata. Let's keep it going and see what they do. I'm excited to see what they do for the rest of the year. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. Go Birds, and I'll see you later.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
I need Eagle Nation to stand